Apps are a really efficient way to have subscribers, to go through the act of downloading an app. In some case, even paying for the app means you want to receive content from that publisher on an ongoing basis. Or sometimes the apps are games, which means you want to play that game on an ongoing basis. So in any case, what it means is it can work more like media's worked in terms of constantly delivering, constantly updating, bringing in live events, bringing in news, being timely. And I think it's going to be a real convergence with television, where in fact people will subscribe to apps in the future the way they subscribe to cable channels today.
Is there efficiencies for publishers in delivering in apps versus streaming, or does it matter?
No, certainly I think technically there are things you can do with apps. There's a reason why cloud solutions and apps are progressing, because you can manage the demand a little differently, you can make sure that you can accelerate. So there's some advantages. I don't think that it's the death of streaming. There are places where streaming makes sense, but there's some real advantages to an app model. It's not just about bandwidth efficiency, it's also about security. It's important that you can authenticate that someone has actually paid for this content and that they're watching the content fairly, and I think apps give us some real opportunities on the security side as well.
Video as a medium for advertisers, where do things stand now, and perhaps where might things go, or where do they need to go?
Well, I think the producers of long-form video content are really showing a lot of investment in innovation. We see that in many of the sessions here, innovation around the players, innovation around DVR capability, innovation around connecting video to social networks. The experience is much, much richer over IP, and so they're reinventing. I think what I haven't seen yet is the reinvention of advertising. I think that short-form video content hasn't innovated yet. The player innovation, some of the things I just talked about, I don't think all the advertisers have figured out what that means to their stories. They're still a little too much focused on 30-second films, and the palette's much, much broader today. I hope we'll see the innovation in the next few years, but it's going to be important that the advertisers and their agencies innovate as much as the media companies have. I think we continue to push the envelope in terms of simultaneous users. So last summer, having 1.6 million simultaneous viewers of World Cup events in high definition was an enormous amount of bandwidth and a real test as to how our network scales. Before that, it was the inauguration of Barack Obama. More recently, as the Chilean miners were coming out, the audience really built during the day, and it was at work for many people, so they watched it over IP. And there were no issues at all. It was a television-like experience, HD at very high quality, for many, many news outlets simultaneously. So I think we have work to do, but we're certainly getting to the place where the capacity of networks, fixed broadband and 3G, are keeping up with demand. So we're moving in the right direction. I don't think we're going to run out of network capacity.